Let's explore autistic history and the Autism Wars. This is part 130 of a series. Okay, I'm going to jump right back into Senator Dan Burton's testimony, or his statement that he gave at the opening of this congressional hearing on autism in April of 2000. He states families are forced to spend huge sums of money out of pocket even when they have good insurance. Because autism is often specifically excluded, we need to talk to state legislators around this country to tell them how important it is with the explosion of autism that these benefits be mandated by states and be covered by insurance. California passed legislation recently to require insurance companies to cover autism. Parents spend $20,000 to $30,000 a year. What medical care is covered is often done after extensive struggles with insurance companies. We have a long hearing scheduled today with a broad spectrum of ideas presented. We will have a variety of medical approaches presented. We will hear about secretin, which gained a great deal of media attention in the past year, from which many parents have seen tremendous successes. Dr. John Upledger, a former advisor to the Office of Alternative Medicine at the National Institutes of Health, will testify on the use of craniosacral therapy. He is the director of the Upledger Institute in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. For more than 25 years, Dr. Upledger has been treating autistic children and helping families through this approach. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to skip past that because that is just too much. Oh, talk about traumatizing. I'm just looking where to go to next. That isn't, let's see. In addition to medical treatments for the physical symptoms of autism, there are numerous therapies that are needed to help autistic children. Special educational approaches are needed that can include intensive behavior modification, ding, 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 also known as ABA. Wow. Love us, music therapy, speech therapy, auditory integration, and sensory integration, as well as play therapy. They'll hear from both the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the National Institutes of Health about ongoing research and future needs. Of particular interest is the Burke Township study, which has been evaluating a cluster of autism in New Jersey. Clusters, isn't that something? Burton states, this hearing will raise more questions than we can answer today. We owe it to our children and to our grandchildren to ensure that we are being diligent in looking for the causes of autism. We have to do everything humanly possible to determine if there is something that can be done to unlock our children from this prison that they are in as a result of autism. He goes on to speak about the type of research he believes is needed and says we cannot stick our heads in the sand and ignore this possibility. If we do not take action now, 10 years from now, it may be too late, not only for this generation of children, but for our taxpayer-funded health and education systems, which could be collapse from trying to care for all these children. We are such a burden. The hearing record will remain open for 2 weeks. I now yield to my colleagues, and on they go. Now, in the previous video, I shared the part where Burton was speaking to Shelley Reynolds, who was the founding person or founding parent of Unlocking Autism, and displaying thousands of pictures of autistic children at the Hear Their Silence autism rally that was happening the Saturday after this hearing. So, mind you, this Hear Their Silence rally got a shout out from Senator Dan Burton right from the congressional hearing that was being televised live on C-SPAN to the United States. And hearing his testimony or his opening statement, his words, where do you hear about autistic speaking? But they were. So I'm going to jump over and share what an autistic was saying at the same time. And then after that, I'll go back and read some more testimony from a different person at this hearing, and we'll just alternate back and forth that way because autistics were not heard. We were silenced and we were left out of representation in legislation. So these people could market their brand of autism awareness to get the agenda that they wanted in place to happen. And so therefore, autistics were silenced. All right, over on autistics.org at the time, a note was posted by Laura Tysoncik, Tisoncik, in regards to this rally being proposed. So I'm going to start with that and go in order a little bit from there. So, stated, pardon me for just sticking some email on the web, but I want responses from as many people as possible as fast as possible, and so I'm not going to bother with writing something specifically for the website right now. Plus, I'm having a painful repetitive strain injury flare up from dealing with this email and long conspiratorial IRC channel chats I've been dealing with. This is a dialogue that should not be held with me. They should be holding it with the autistic community. I'm just a webmaster. Moreover, it should have been the first thing they did way back when they were organizing this. And this is what they're speaking of, is the Hear Their Silence rally being put on by Shelley Reynolds from Unlocking Autism. And another founder was Carol Fusella. So in a message on this message board, Laura writes, I have just gotten this email. Suggestions, anyone? As far as I'm concerned, the key issue for me is the recognition that autistics are central, not marginal, to the issue of autism, and that parents, professionals must not act without us as full partners, if not more. After all, I have more right to my own life than my parents do. Changing words is not the same as changing the balance of power. But forcing them to change words is a change in the balance of power here, but not enough. Mind you, but assuming they can change enough not to be impossibly unbearable, it would be worth it to grab the victory and run. And of course, plot on to challenge the autism establishment and win lots more in the future, smiley face. So input, please, and feel free to forward this on to any other autistic ally or mailing list where there is interested. I need replies to this ASAP. Laura then posts email that was dated Wednesday, 29th of March, 2000 from, I'm not sure the name here. It says Todd Guppy in the email, but the bottom is written, the sender is by Michelle. So they say, I don't know why I'm asking. I'm sure my intentions will be misinterpreted again, but exactly how would you like us to make you feel included? This is the Hear Their Silence organizers, folks. What could we say at the rally that would make you feel included? Oh. I have added a line to my little thing I'm doing at the rally because, yes, it needs to be there. Adults with autism are making a difference in society, and I did overlook that. I do speak of children because I have a child, but I know he will be an adult someday. We will change the number. Consider it 1877 on autism or whatever. I think there was no autism before. So, quote, this is for the adults with autism, those giving us glimpse into their lives, meaning Tempo Grandin, sharing their experience with us, those in the list who have, allowing us to hear their voices. How many times must we try and explain to make you understand we did not mean to make you feel excluded? Actions speak louder than words. The number will be changed. What would you like to be said on your behalf at the rally? How do you want the nation to hear your voice? And this is signed Michelle. Really? All right, we're going to explore even more autistic history in the next video. Thank you for joining me. And oh boy, right?